Welcome y'all. Today we are going to make some wooden hoop towel holders. Let's get started.
These are so beautiful and just so fun to make. I got the rings on Amazon. I can link those in the description. And I've already made a few of these. These are actually going to be Christmas presents. So if you see this, just pretend you didn't see it. Here we are. We did a crisscross stitch on these, and that is what we're going to do in the green now. So I've got my green balled up, and we are ready to go. What you're going to do is you're going to make your slip knot and get it right around your hook. Now I've got a G, which is a 4.25. Okay. Okay, I'm going to refer to my yarn project because when I made these, I wrote it down. And I've got quite a few projects in here now. Wooden hoop towel holder. Okay, so I'm going to have that to the side. And we are going to get started with our wooden hoop. We're going to scoop under and do our first single. We're going to do 10 single crochets over the wooden hoop. So that's 2. There's 3. It's a little awkward right here to start with. 4. But just keep going here and it'll get a little easier. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Okay, now if you want to check, you can count your stitches across here. Basically, we're going to do a chain 3. I just counted them as we went, so I'm not going to count them again. You're going to do a chain 3, and you're going to do a twisted double crochet. Okay, so what you're doing is you wouldn't go here if you were going in your regular double. You would go here, so you skip one. So you're going in the 3rd stitch from the hook, and you're going to do your double, and then you're going to go backwards and go into this one before the one you just did. Okay, so it looks a little twisted. Let me zoom in here a little bit better. That might be about right there. Let that clear up. Now, the next one, we're going to not do this one. We're going to go into this one, and you're going to do your double crochet, and then you're going to go backwards again and do this double crochet. So you're going to go skip one because you're doing it twisted, and it just gives it a pretty twist to your stitches. You're going to go backwards into the one before it and do another one, and then you're going to do that one more time and then go backwards, and then you're going to do one in the last just straight up. So your stitches here are twisted as you go. They're crisscrossed. Okay, I'm going to zoom back out because that is quite close. Now we're going to do this again. We're going to have 10 rows of twisted. Okay, so you don't go here, you go here. But for this, you don't go here, you go in the next one. So the 3rd stitch over, and then you go back to the 2nd stitch. And now it's starting to feel a little bit better because you're holding your crochet, not your wooden hoop. And you don't have to worry about counting the rows because just like double crochet, it's easy to count the rows when you're done. So here we go with our twisted crochet, our twisted double crochet. You want to crisscross each one of these. I'm not sure if this has a specific name besides twisted or crisscross. And then you just do one on the end. Then you do your chain 3 and you do it all over again. And if you don't want to count your stitches, you're taking your little section here, your little crisscross, and you're just going in the opposite side of it. It's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. I am sure you are doing a wonderful job if you're following along. Just going to go on and do some quicker rows here. It doesn't take a long time to do this because you're only doing 10 stitches across and you're only doing 10 rows. So we're just going to keep doing that. You're going to have 4 twists in each one. 1, 2, 3, and turn. So you've got 3 rows. They're easy to count. And then you just start row 4. Twist. And so you crisscross it backwards. And then you just keep going. And crisscross it backwards. So this is a fairly easy one to do. You just have to get the hoops from Amazon, or you could probably get them at Walmart.com or any other craft store that you like to use. I bet you could find them at Hobby Lobby. You could probably find them at Michael's. You might even find them at Lowe's or Home Depot. And you can get different sizes as well if you like. This was just the right size that I needed. And here we go. Last one on that row. And you go right in the top of that chain. The end. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is half of our towel holder. 3 chains, and we're going to keep going. The only problem with this is that little round hoop keeps hitting the table. If you do this in your lap, it would not happen. So this is an item that I have had a request for from a friend of mine who wanted this as a gift. She would probably be willing to pay me for it, but we're not going to do that. And so she's been asking me to make some. She's mentioned it once or twice. And I thought, well, it's high time to make that thing that she's been wondering about. So I just made a few of them because these are really cool little gifts for Christmas. So there's 6 rows. Nope, that's 7. 5, 6, 7. I've already done an extra row while I was talking. 1, 2, 3. Let's keep going. All you have to know to do this is a single crochet and a double crochet. It's a very simple project. Dun, dun, dun. Two. Actually, I have a note on here that says use half double. So maybe I made one of these a little bit smaller. No, it doesn't look like it. Looks like it's the right size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe I made the cream colored ones a different size, or maybe I was just going to try it. I had to put notes on there to tell myself 7, 8, so 2 more rows. Okay, the other note is it's 6 inches no matter what stitch you use. So if you decide to use a different stitch and want these smaller holes, you could just make sure it's 6 inches when you're done. But I do love this stitch. So pretty. And this is one of her favorite colors. There we go. On the other side of that, you want the second side of your twist. I love this twist. It's so pretty. Okay, so this is your last row. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then we take our second hoop and we are literally just going to single crochet it onto the hoop. There we go, this way. I'm going to go under. So that's 1. Whoa. Well, you do have to hook onto the stitches. So you go in here and do your singles. There's 1. There's your second stitch. And you're just going to go in each stitch all the way across. And don't worry about the way it's twisted right now. It will turn when you get it done. And I didn't chain at the first of this. I guess you could, but you don't have to. And the last stitch is in the top of that chain from the previous row. And we're going to cut that off and pull it through. Now check this out. You just turn it like that. So you've got one with that there. There you go. Now when you put this over your oven door or your whatever, you just stick your towel through there and you have a beautiful wooden hoop towel holder. It is so beautiful. Now I'm just going to sew the ends in and we're done. Thank you for watching. Y'all have a great day.